Welcome. My name is Steve Gibbs. I'm with Right Star Systems. I am the Senior Systems Consultant for Client Management, a BMC IT Asset Management Solution. And today we're going to be going over the latest release, version 20.08. It was just released this past week, one of the last weeks in August of 2020. And we're going to be reviewing the web console interface that has had several improvements, well, a lot of improvements over the previous version. So this is going to be a web-based version. So as you can see, I've got Google Chrome opened. I'm going to go ahead and open up the web page for client management. And as you can see, as it starts to load, it will present a login page showing the latest version right here. It will retain, depending upon your Chrome settings, it will retain the last logged in user, and I've stored my password just for ease of use. I'm going to select sign in, and this is the page as it presents itself right now. What's new in 28 is this section over here, which is derived directly from BMC. So it goes and gets a fetch from BMC, and it talks about what's new. So from here, you can open up each one of these, read what BMC thinks is important that users of client management should know. Here's a success story, and over here is talking about all of the new capabilities in this particular version, along with a document link to get you directly to the help pages and the online documents. If you don't want to see this, you can just simply collapse that window and it goes away. Depending upon how many times you've been in this interface before, it will store the devices that you have been on most recently. So if you have a desire to go back to that same device, you have that capability. This is the default landing page. If you wish to search for a device, you have the ability of searching on either a username. So let's say that Joe Blow had put in a ticket and you're working a particular ticket and you want to find the device that Joe Blow is working on. Or let's say that you want to look for all of the laptops that might be in the environment, or all of the workstations or desktops, or everybody that might be on a particular subnet, or everybody on, or that device that's on a particular IP address. So you have lots of different, or a specific device name. You have lots of mechanisms in which to locate the device or devices in question. If I type laptop, then it will go out there and locate all of the devices that are laptops, present the IP address to you, and what operating system it's on, and who the user is that's logged on. If you wish to look for everything within a particular IP range, so you can go ahead and sort that out and realize that we've got this particular device that's sitting really on .20. If I wanted to locate using a wildcard, I can actually just leave that value alone, or I can use an asterisk. And the asterisk is the wildcard in this particular case. So now everything that's sitting on the 10.9.1 network is presented. Now this is everything that's in the database itself. So, or let's say that I wanted to locate a username. I can just simply put that in, and then any device that is associated with that particular username, I would have the ability of popping in. So without any further delay, let's take a look at the data that we can get back. This happens to be the laptop that I'm actually working from. And you can see, first thing is disk usage. It provides you a graphical representation of how much full the drive space is. If you have 2 drives, 3 drives, whatever, it would represent each drive letter. Shows you how much memory is installed and what the processor is of that device. Lets you know the full operating system version of that device, the domain name of that device, what BMC Client Management Agent version is running, whether it's a client or a relay, that's a topology type, the serial number of that device, the MAC address, the IP address that it's coming in on, and whether or not anti-malware is installed and enabled, whether the firewall is installed and enabled. How much software? We have 897 different scanned applications and 49 different products. That comes out of the software catalog. I can go to the detailed properties page, and from here, I get basic device information, and I can identify exactly what's happening. This is a laptop. I've got my IP address again. I can look at my agent details. Which device am I reporting directly to? What port am I communicating on? Am I securely communicating? In other words, am I using encrypted data transfer? I am. Which patch knowledge base version is currently installed, and whether or not it's virtualized or a virtual machine or running virtualization. Whether or not it's under NAT, which means BMC Client Management has the ability to actually manage devices over the internet. And if it was a NATed address, it would be represented right here. Disk serial number, hypervisor version, all of this data is available. Also, what roles this device has. My device is an asset discovery scanner and a rollout server. Again, it talks about the operating system information and any additional customized information or additional device attributes that may have been assigned to that particular device would be displayed right here. I can go into inventories. So the default is hardware, and I have the ability to select custom, hardware, patch, security settings, security products, or software. So if I was curious to see what model this particular device was, I can come in here and I can slide that bar down and I can see, oh, this is a Latitude 7480. So now I know exactly what model this particular device is. If I wanted to go into custom inventory, I can check to see whether my hard drive is encrypted. It is. It's 100% encrypted of the use space only. So not the entire hard drive is encrypted, just the data space. My hard drive is just shy of a terabit. So that's under the custom inventory. If I wanted to go into patch, this will default to the missing patches tab. So this would list all of the patches that are missing off of this device. So currently I only have 4 unrated patches that have not been installed on my machine, but could be installed if the patch management administrator so chose. I can look for missing service packs. So I have just recently upgraded to Windows 2004. So previously, this would have been showing down here that there was a Windows 10 upgrade that that can be performed on this device. But right now I'm at the latest version, so that's why it's not showing anything. I can take a look at all of my installed service packs, so I can get an idea of what actually has been installed, and you can see there's the 2004 service pack I was just talking about, along with how large of a file that really is. So it gives you an idea of what's going on there. Then, if we want to, we can go to security settings, and we can take a look at, for example, the shares. There's the admin dollar, the C dollar, and the IPC dollar. So my device only has the default shares, no additional shares. I can look at my firewalls. I can say, okay, yes, firewall 1, which is on the domain, firewall 2, all of them are enabled. Well, this is the domain profile right here. So all of my firewalls are enabled. I can take a look at my antivirus solution, and my McAfee endpoint security is enabled. It is up to date, so I'm good to go. Here is the Windows Defender default. If I wanted to go even further, look at security products. I can take a look at my anti-malware, and I can get an idea right here. There's Windows Defender. I can look at cloud storage. So there's my box drive, my hypervisor virtualization. So I've got VMware Workstation on my device. I also have VMware Player here. So a lot of additional information that you can look at. Under my software, by default, I'm going to drop into scanned applications. I can go ahead and change this to just the add remove programs. So I can come here and take a look. Okay, what does this device actually have installed? If I'm looking for something particular, I can go and try to find it here, see whether it's if it's visible or whether it's missing. If I need to get more specific, I can go ahead and take a look at the actual executables that are on the box and what installation directory they're located. So I can go down and just simply continue to scroll through this and get an idea of all of my different executables that are on the box. Great for troubleshooting, great for identifying exactly what's out there. I also have the ability to go ahead and change it from scanned applications to products. This is the software catalog. And in our software catalog, I've only got 7-zip, AnyConnect, ASP, audio, iBox, and then I can continue to scroll. There's Edge, all of this information. So if I click on Edge right here, I can change that and see that I'm on Edge 11. This is all presented through Flexera. But again, that data is now fully available. If I think I've covered everything in here, so let's go to Topology. So now this gives me the ability to take a look to see, okay, this is my device. It is a relay, and it's directly connected to the master server. If I was connected to a relay that was then connected to the master, it would show that topology architecture. Something that's new in this release is operational rules. So now I have the availability of actually seeing what operational rules have been executed on my device. I also have the ability to assign an operational rule. So if I wanted to come here, I can present this. I can take a look at security. I can come here and see, okay, what's going on. I can do software deployment. I can go ahead and push out 7-zip or upgrade Notepad. I can take a look at my device health. I can take a look at custom inventory. Okay, so let's say I want to go ahead and assign BitLocker. So I'm going to go ahead and assign. So now this is getting ready to run. So now a technician has the ability to open up the web browser and fulfill a software deployment request through the web console versus launching the full Java-based console, which is great for, if you want to hook these into Footprints, Remedy Force, Trackit, or Remedy Smart IT. Now this interface will be much easier for your technicians to launch and be able to navigate through. So this is how that piece works. I'm going to go through here, and I also have actions. So under actions, I can remote control, I can audit the box, I can download the log files. So if I'm troubleshooting or whatever the case may be, I can actually pull those log files from that device and actually take a look at those logs. I can go directly into the file system, the registry, look to see what services are started, which ones are not started, which ones have actually been assigned to that device. I can look at the Windows event logs. So let's just take a look at the Windows event logs. So now I am reaching through this Windows console. So now not only do I have the ability of searching through the standard logs, but I can come through here and take a look at all of these sub logs that were not available before. So if I wanted to open up Microsoft and then open up Windows, now I can come in here and I can start navigating through all of these additional logs. The other thing that is really cool is when I click on a log, I am actually only by default bringing in critical error and warning, even though information in others is available, and I'm filtering it. So instead of trying to bring in 28 megs worth of 24 megabits worth of data, I'm only bringing in the most relevant stuff. And notice that I'm sorting the most latest version of that log first. So therefore, if I want to take a look at any of these, I have the ability to. So here is, I have an error on my Office 2016 licensing. Okay, so let's just find out. I can double click on it. I think I might not be able to bring up more data. Okay, but at least it alerts me to that information. And yeah. Okay, so I have the Windows events. Just to close that, I'm going to knock that out, and I still have the ability to come here. I can look at process management. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull in all of the processes that are running on my machine. So I can go through here, I can filter, I can look for something specifically. Right here, I can sort by CPU, which it already is sorted by which process is taking up the majority of the CPU. I can actually kill a process from here if I wanted to. So I can just simply highlight that row, click on Actions, and then I can end that process. If I wanted to start a new task, I would have the ability to go ahead and just simply open that window, put in the full program path, any attributes, and then click OK, and it would actually launch that particular process on the targeted machine. I can also run a file transfer. I can check the connection. I can reboot the device. I can restart the client agent. I can shut down or try to wake up that device with a wake on LAN functionality. So this web-based console now is fully inclusive of all of these elements. Let me go ahead and just try to remote control. Oh, probably not a good idea. Yeah, because you can see I've got a house of windows going here, so I'm going to close that before it gets crazy. Let's go back to the home screen, and let's go ahead and select another device and go here and click on remote control. And you'll be able to see here is that screen in full screen mode. So this is now set shrink to fit, and it works out really well. If I want to send a command to it, I just send the Control-Alt-Delete, which will then go ahead and bring up a login screen. So I have the ability of remoting into this. I can also record the sessions of this remote control functionality. So therefore, if I'm doing a training session or if I'm running into issues and I need somebody's support, and I can just simply record what's going on in that remote control session, and then let my fellow technicians take a look at that recording, and that way then they would have the benefit of having firsthand visual awareness of what I was attempting to do and why maybe I could not solve the problem, and see if they had a better idea. And again, just to simply close this value here, and now I'm out of that remote control session. So that's the functionality here. If we click on the remote control tab, we have a number of elements here. One is I can search for a device just like I did on the other screen and look for devices to remote control expressly in. I can also do remote control on request. So if a device does not have an agent on board, I can actually initiate a remote control session with a device with no agent on board. I have the ability of looking at the recordings that have been taking place. So these are the ones that I've done since August 24th. And these are devices that I've recorded. I can download this particular recording. I can refresh this, see if there's anything new. I can lock recordings. I can delete recordings from here. I can also take a look at the history. So these are all of the histories. Just now, I remoted into both this device and this device. It talks about how long I was on that device. On this one, I was on for less than a minute. This one, I was on for less than 15 seconds. So I can have auditability, easily be able to see what technicians were remoting into what devices. So that's another new feature. All in all, BMC has done an excellent job with this web interface. Even from this web interface, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and download the executable that would allow you the ability to log into the Java-based console. So from this one web console right now, our technicians have the ability to do so much more than they did in previous versions. In my mind, this is a home run. So I wanted to make everybody aware of all of the new features in here. I want to wish everybody well, and I believe that's going to do it. So have a good day, and thank you very much for watching.